I was a boat stuck in a bottle that never got the chance to touch the sea. Just forgot on the shelf, no wind in the sails, going nowhere with no one but me. I was 1 in 100 billion, a burnout star in a galaxy. Just lost in the sky, wondering why everyone else shines out for me. But I came to life when I first kissed you. The best me has his arms around you. You make me better than I was before. Thank God I'm yours. I was a worn out set of shoes, wandering the city streets. Another face in the crowd, head looking down, lost in the sound of a lonely melody. And empty pockets and a roulette, always landing on a lost bet. And just live for the spin, hope for the win, go all in just to lose again. But I came to life when I first kissed you. The best me has his arms around you. Make me better than I was before. Thank God I'm yours. The worst me is just a long gone memory. You put a new heartbeat inside of me. You make me better than I was before. Thank God I'm yours. Stuck in a bottle that never got the chance to touch the sea. But I came to life when I first kissed you. The best me has his arms around you. You make me better than I was before. Thank God I'm yours. The worst me is just a long gone memory. You put a new heartbeat inside of me. You make me better than I was before. Thank God I'm yours. Thank God I'm yours. Thank God I'm yours. Thank God I'm yours. Outset of shoes, wandering the city street. Another face in the crowd, head looking down, lost in the sound of a lonely melody. And empty pockets and a roulette, always landing on a lost bet. And just live for the spin, hope for the win, go all in just to lose again. But I came to life when I first kissed you. The best me. Forever could never be long enough for me to feel like I've had long enough with you. Forget the world now, we won't let them see. But there's one thing left to do. Now that the weight has lifted, love has surely shifted my way. Marry me today and every day. Marry me. Say you will.
Everybody rise.
Together could never be close enough for me to feel like I am close enough to you. You wear white and I wear out the words I love you. And you're beautiful. Now that the wait is over, love has finally showed her my way. Marry me today and every day. Marry me.
Intention that we leave our parents to be joined as husband and wife. As parents, you are endorsing this biblical principle and giving consent to this marriage. To the father and mother of the bride, with that understanding, let me ask, who gives this woman to be married to this man? We do. With this understanding, to the parents of the groom, likewise, do you give your son to be married to this woman? We do. Please be seated. Shannon, you go take care. Jody? Get a hug. Are you okay? Are you okay, honey? Want a hug? I do want a hug. I love you. You're going to be fine.
We're standing there together right now.
Okay, do you want to, you okay? Okay. Family and friends, we warmly welcome each and every one of you who have come to participate and be witnesses in this joyful and happy occasion in the lives of Shannon Berry and Alexandria Will. We believe that God is present with us today as we celebrate the coming together in love of this woman and of this man. This is the time that this love for one another is made public as they share mutual promises before God and you, their family, and their friends. This is a moment of enormous significance in their lives, and it gives them great pleasure that you are here. The bride and groom have asked me to ask you to please silence all your phones and refrain from taking any pictures or video during the ceremony. Thank you. We have a first reading this afternoon, and the theme is Marriage is God's Idea. It will be read by Chris Repp, aunt of the bride. You can turn a little bit, yeah. You can take the microphone around. This is taken from Genesis.
And the Lord God said, "It isn't good for man to be alone. I will make a companion for him, a helper suited to his needs." So the Lord God formed from the soil every kind of animal and bird and brought them to the man to see what he would call them. And whatever he called them, that was their name. But still there was no proper helper for the man. Then the Lord God caused the man to fall into a deep sleep and took one of his ribs and closed up the place from which he had removed it and made the rib into a woman and brought her to the man. "This is it," Adam exclaimed. "She is part of my own bone and flesh. Her name is woman because she was taken out of a man. This explains why a man leaves his father and mother and is joined to his wife in such a way that the two become one person."
The second reading today is taken from the book of Corinthians. It's read by Kathy Pettit, Shannon's grandmother.
Hi, you too. Love is patient and kind. Love is not jealous. It does not brag, and it is not proud. Love is not rude, is not selfish, and does not become angry easily. Love does not remember wrongs done against it. Love is not happy with evil, but is happy with the truth. Love patiently accepts all things. It always trusts, always hopes, and always continues strong. Love never ends. There are gifts of prophecy, but they will be ended. There are gifts of speaking in different languages, but those gifts will end. There is the gift of knowledge, but it will be ended. These things will end because this knowledge and these prophecies we have are not complete. But when perfection comes, the things that are not complete will end. When I was a child, I talked like a child. I thought like a child. I made plans like a child. When I became a man, I stopped those childish ways. It is the same with us. Now we see as if we are looking into a dark mirror. But at that time, in the future, we shall see clearly. Now I know only a part, but at that time, I will know fully as God has known me. So these three things continue forever: faith, hope, and love. And the greatest of these is love.
You two want to turn, talk to me? Look at me. Get comfortable. Yes, absolutely. Do you want to do our train? Okay. So let's talk a little bit. How long ago did you meet? Relax. Well, we're going to have fun, okay? Relax. All right. How long ago did you meet?
3 years ago?
3 years ago.
Years ago.
Long time?
Yep.
Not long. It's why you're going to take till death do you part today, okay? During those 2 years, did everything go smoothly?
Of course.
No arguments, no fights, no loud words, no slamming of doors, no silence, none of that, right?
Nope.
And if you believe that, no. The idea I'm going to talk to you today is everybody has conflict and confrontation in a relationship. You cannot have a relationship and everybody be the same. What if God made two people exactly the same? How boring would that be? So I'm going to talk a little bit about appreciating your differences, learning to blend them, and living in harmony. And I'm taking all this message from actually Genesis and Corinthians. So where do our differences come from? Well, Adam and Eve. And I think personally that was the most brilliant idea he's ever had. Because to tell you the truth, none of us would be here today if that wasn't his idea, right? But there are differences. Did you ever hear the quote, men are from Mars and women from Venus? Do you find that true sometimes? Yeah, sometimes, right? Yeah. Well, that holds a lot of truth because men usually think concrete things from their head. Women usually think things from their heart. So we have differences. There's a lot of other differences, and what are they? They're infinite. I'm just going to name a few. For instance, you both were born to different parents. So the genealogy behind that is enormous with personalities and differences. And you bring them together. You were probably raised in different houses. You had different celebrations for holidays and birthdays. You went different places. You vacationed different things. Even if you had different food that was served, you're bringing all those differences together. There's going to be times of conflict. There's good differences. I see good differences in both of you already. I don't think I've ever seen you change a tire, get under the car and change oil or anything like that. Is that true? Okay. And likewise, I don't see you putting on dresses to model for her business, correct? So you both have a lot of, oh, really, you have? I didn't expect this kind of truth to come out. Okay. Yeah, there are differences. There's differences in, let's say one of you are better at your financial picture for the rest of your lives. And Shannon may say, you know, I got this. 10 years we're going to be here, 15 years we're going to be there. And you say, you know, that's really great. On the other hand, you may be really good for organizing. And you go, Shannon, here's the whole calendar for 6 months. Here's what you do on this day. This is what you do on this day. You got an appointment here. You got to go there. You got to take the dog here. You got the laundry. They give it to us. Okay? Because you've got differences, but they may be good differences. And already you're blending those, right? But there's going to be differences. There's going to be challenges. I'm going to give you an example. I got a bowl. I put a cup of water in it. I put a cup of oil in it. And I mix it up. And I mix it up. And I shake it up. It never, ever blends. It's not going to. When there's an explosion out in the ocean, an oil well, that oil is on top. It's never going to blend with the ocean water. But I went to the cupboard and I got flour, sugar, 2 eggs. I beat it up. I got a wonderful batter. And you know what? That oil and water is still there, but it's blended. So you have to find ways to blend your differences. I got some ideas. Are you willing to listen?
Of course.
You're sort of a captive, aren't you?
Well, yeah.
Okay. There are things that I can tell you, a number of words that'll work. The first word I'm going to tell you is I love you. You cannot say that enough. You can't. And I already talked to you about this, hugs. You can't hug enough either. The world doesn't hug enough. Let's say, for instance, the best blending tool that you two have is a love for one another. It's going to be the glue that's going to hold you through the tough times. It's there. The first word I want to tell you about is patience and time. Today you're going to take vows and you're going to be married till death do you part. That's a long time. Be patient with your differences. What bothers you today, the way he puts the silverware in the dishwasher, may not bother you when you've got 5 kids running around, 2 dogs, and you got to go to work. Be patient with your differences. Kindness. When you have a confrontation, be kind. Have you ever heard the saying, don't open your mouth till your brain is in gear? Anybody hear that ever? Did anybody ever say anything and the words came out and you want to grab them and put them back in your mouth because you know they're going to hurt? Be kind to one another. Blind trust. It has to be. I'm going to give you an example of blind trust. You go to work one day and you come home. Shannon's in the kitchen. The minute you walk in the door, Shannon knows something is wrong. You're shaking like you are now. Not laughing. You have tears in your eyes and you're obvious, very, very distressed. He doesn't say a word. He goes to you and he puts his arm around you. He whispers in your ear, it's going to be okay. I'm here for you. And you know what? You believe him. That's blind trust. And you must have that to get through this life. Honesty and truthfulness. You know, if you're having a confrontation and you can't be honest about underlying feelings, you can never change. That confrontation is going to go on forever because you haven't brought it forth. So be honest and truthful when you're having a confrontation, but be kind. Empathy. Empathy is where you can step in that other person's shoes and kind of feel the way they're feeling. Along with that word is compassion. Sometimes you just have to have compassion because think of all the differences that you brought into the marriage. Long years of being apart from each other, and you've brought all those differences together. They're going to show up. You have to have compassion. There's a lot more, but I'm not going to go into them because I think we want to get going here. I'll write you them. The last 2 are the most powerful words I can tell you in a relationship, and they're the hardest to say. And you know why? We're humans. We're prideful. It's hard to say, I'm sorry. Because what we want to do is as humans, we want to be right or wrong. I mean, I think everybody wants that. And sometimes you just have to say, I'm sorry. The partner word to that is forgiveness. And trust me when I tell you, your marriage is going to have to be with endless forgivenessness. You're going to have to do that. You may not remember any words that I spoke to you today, but there's one thing I want you to remember the rest of your life. And I want you to remember it every day. Remember this day. Remember you two standing here. Remember what was in your heart. Remember how you got here. Remember the love you have each other today. Okay? Because of that love, you're going to give yourself to one another. You're going to say personal vows that are very meaningful and right from the heart. And you are in a few minutes going to be lawfully married to one another. Get a load of this. Till death do you part. A long time. Be patient. Today's the first day you're going to be married. It's like having a new baby. Nurture it. Give it a lot of love, compassion, empathy, hugs, kisses, laughter. Don't forget to laugh. Laugh at each other. Laugh alone. Lay in bed some night and just start laughing. 2 bits, he's going to start laughing. And you're not going to know what to laugh about. Okay? You got that? Oh, you did it already. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't want you to leave today and go into your marriage. Please don't just go into your marriage. Don't walk out of here, get in the car and go home or go wherever you're going to go and go, okay, we're married. I want you to grow into your marriage. Nurture it every day until it becomes mature. Grow into it. I have a hope. Hope is a positive expectation of something. This is my hope for you. Imagine the year 2071. Got it? Yep, I know the math.
Yeah.
Okay. You're going to be about my age. Old. Shannon, your hair is thinning. You're gray. You're walking with a cane because you need your right knee fixed up, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Your hair isn't long anymore. It's a little thinning, but it's cute and curly. Shannon has prepared a restaurant and a reservation with this cutest table in the corner. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Why 4? Because you're old and you can't eat late, okay? But there's candles there, and you both sit down and look at each other. You remember this day. You order soft food because, you know, got this denture right here is bothering me. But you are so much in love that Shannon says we must toast. So you pick up the chilled glass of Ensure and you click. You think I'm kidding? No, I'm not. You click and you say, remember the day we got married. What a ride. And I think that you two are going to make it. I wish I'd be here to see it. May God richly bless your marriage. May He always be present in your lives. May you grow each and every day, and may you appreciate your differences and be able to blend them into a batter of health, happiness, and love so strong that nothing on earth can tear you apart. I love you both. Okay. It is now that Shannon and Alexandria are going to do a unity sand ceremony. And I've just spoken about differences. Blending sand of different colors represents the union of not only Shannon and Alexandria, but their families and friends. The separate sands once poured into this unity vase can never be put back into their separate vases. They are forever entwined, just as the lives and loves of these two, the bride and groom. You can go ahead and do your unity candle. Okay. You okay?
Forever seems like a long time, but nothing seems like a long time when I am with you. I feel like I'm walking on water since the day that I asked your father to let go of his daughter.
Oh boy, I gotta catch up. Gotta catch up.
So give me your blessing, sir. I'll give her all that I've got. It doesn't look like much, but it sure feels like a lot. Let her take my heart and take my hand. Take my heart and take my hand. Take my heart and take my hand again and again. Right where we stand.
Facing me. Shannon, is it your intent that before God and these witnesses, you will take this woman to be your lawfully wedded wife? And do you promise that from this day forward, you will be her faithful husband, for better or worse, for richer or poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and cherish, till death do you part?
I do.
Alexandria, is it your intent that before God and these witnesses you will take this man to be your lawfully wedded husband? And do you promise that from this day forward you will be his faithful wife, for better or worse, for richer or poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish till death do you part? Shannon and Alexandria will now share their own vows.
I can go first.
Okay.
Would you like me to go first, or do you want to go first?
I guess you can go first.
Take your pick. Alex, it seems like it was just yesterday when you picked me up for our first date. When I saw you, I thought, oh no, I have no shot. Only to find out that I blew it on a kiss for the first date. However, I have had the chance to kiss you and hold you in my arms plenty since then, and that spark has never gone away. I love that we're still and always will be madly in love. I love your drive to be better every day and help me along the way. I love your smile, especially when you're trying to act upset but can't contain your happiness. I love your presence when you walk into the room. It keeps me grounded and it puts my mind at ease. Most of all, I love your heart. Your care for everyone you meet, and no matter how upset you are with them, you can't help but be super nice to them. Every day I think to our future and what it holds for us and our 2 kids. I think ahead to our future house with a nice kitchen, a huge fridge, and a very nice 6-car garage that you can only see from the backyard. I can't wait to see where our careers take us. When I'm working day shift and we binge watch our shows until 11 p.m., I will love you till my last breath. And I promise to be faithful to you, to be there when you're down, always to live and to laugh, and to wipe away your tears when they roll down your cheeks.
There's a few. Okay, so now I have to go. Take it in. Shannon, bear with me. One word's good so far.
From 2 separate dating apps, and we here are standing together today. From Plenty of Fish to Hinge to picking you up for our first date at Olive Garden because your car wasn't working properly, which started to make me believe my thoughts of you looking like a punk in your dating profile. All of this after over a year of online back and forth. I will always be thankful for Plenty of Fish because we're here today, growing together and creating a life we want together because of it. I know it hasn't been easy, and it won't always be easy, but you are my rock when I need it. And that's all that matters. I love that you are willing to try new things for me, like drinking a lot of wine. It's just the first example I came up with. I love you for making the move to Ripon and it causing you to travel farther for work. You said it once to your Grandma Patty that you did it for me, and I like to think that you've grown to love it where we are and the decision you made. I'm excited for our future together as husband and wife, to travel together and build a family together. Sooner rather than later, much later, would be okay, because your new mother-in-law is super antsy, and I wouldn't be surprised if she starts shopping for baby outfits soon. Anyways, I love you unconditionally, unselfishly, and eternally. In the presence of our family and friends, I receive you as my husband and partner for all the days of our lives.
Got a B button. Can we now have the rings? These rings have no beginning, they have no end. They will set forth the eternal nature of real love. They will represent the love and trust that Shannon and Alexandria promised to each other this day. Shannon, will you take this ring and place it on Alexandria's finger and repeat after me? I give you this ring.
I give you this ring.
As a token of my love and commitment.
As a token of my love and commitment.
To love and to live with you in a Christian marriage.
To love and live with you in a Christian marriage.
From this day forward.
From this day forward.
I'm a little sweaty.
Perfect.
The other ring, the other ring.
On the next one. There's only one you.
Alexandria, will you take this ring and place it upon Shannon's finger? And as you do, repeat after me. I give you this ring.
I give you this ring.
As a token of my love and commitment.
As a token of my love and commitment.
To love and live with you in a Christian marriage.
To love and live with you in a Christian marriage.
From this day forward.
From this day forward.
Had a bee bite me. Shannon and Alexandria, since you have promised your love to each other in the presence of God and these witnesses, and have exchanged personal vows and rings under the credentials of ministry through the Universal Life Church, I now pronounce you husband and wife. May the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ and the love of God the Father be with you always. And you're anxious and you can kiss her.
Thanks. There you go.
Oh.
Nice bud.
Cute, cute, cute.
It work?
Family and friends, may I proudly introduce Mr. and Mrs. Shannon Berry. The bride and groom have asked that while the photos are being taken of the wedding party, please help yourself to snacks and refreshments. And then both of you will sign this one.
Both witnesses, you have to sign again.
Way to go, Kelly. Oh, you did.
I'm like shaking.
Yeah, we got
So first off, I'd like to thank everybody for coming here tonight. This is really special to have all these family and friends here tonight. The list could have been a lot longer, but obviously the venue and cost of everything, I don't know how many times I told Alex and Shannon when we got married, what? Our whole wedding didn't cost that. And that was for every single thing. So, you know, they had choices. And when I was a mayor 10 years ago, I talked about one word called respect. And we can carry that word with us every single day in our life. Today's word, I'm going to talk about choices. One word, choices. We kind of heard it today a little bit in sermon down there about when they come home and what you do. Well, you're going to make a choice before you even decide to hug her and tell her it's going to be okay. Every single person in this room tonight is here because of the choices we made in our lives over the last 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40. Grandma, how many years? I won't say it. But anyways, choices. We all make choices, and we're here because of choices. You guys are all here because of the choices these two made for their wedding. And it's really special to me to have you guys here. There's the emotion. So this one gets the emotion from me, and she's got the Bartis blood from her lovely mother. Right, Shannon? Yep. So as these two begin their life, they've obviously been together, and Shannon, you're a lucky, lucky, lucky guy. Not just because you're marrying my daughter today, because this took longer than we expected. Because most people pass the torch. Well, anybody that knows our family knows that if this one would have got married a few years ago and she was still living at home, but they bought a house together, they've been living together already, we were going to pass a golden plunger. Look at her smile. Funny. We'll tell you that story privately, but Shannon's going to take care of that now. I haven't had to take care of it for years, so I didn't even need to worry about it. Toast to that, sweets. I call her sweets. So, choices. You're going to continue to make choices. You're going to make choices tonight before the night's over, right? You're going to make choices tomorrow. It's all about choices in our life. It's so easy to call it quits nowadays. As I just mentioned a minute ago, I'm going to take Alex's mother home tonight. We've been together since 1997, right? Didn't get married till 94. We had a choice to have this girl right here. And we had her for a few years, and we didn't want her to be by herself someday. God forbid something happened to me and Lori. So we made a choice to have her brother, Jensen, down here in the end. So see that simple word, choices, that we all make in our lives? And it'll lead us 50 years from now, right, Grandma Patty? Grandma? Grandma, right? Choices, 50 years from now, when they're looking back with their unsure, but they're going to be talking about the choices they made over them 50 years. Remember today, Grandma says. And how about Grandma? Did she do an amazing job today? I know I'm talking long, but another little tidbit that's kind of cool. Alex is wearing a dress. You guys know us. We're kind of goofy and funny, but she was in diapers and formula until she was a year old, and boom, that was it. Done. And we actually saved money. Lori quit working right when she was born. So we actually saved money when we knew we were pregnant. There again, choices. And this is, it's not about me. It's choices that Lori and I have made for years that we want you guys to learn from and understand that we're still together. I'm going to take her home tonight because of the choices we made. And we're still together. But the wedding dress. So we started saving money when we knew we were pregnant. In a Culligan bottle. We won't talk about that. It's a sore subject nowadays. But anyways, so we never paid for diaper and formula while Alex was in diapers and formula for a year. After that, Lori and I decided to save dimes. This dress she has on tonight, half was paid for with dimes that we saved since she was 1 year old. I couldn't spend a dime or I got my ass chewed. I did sometimes ask the teller for 2 nickels. Because if I spent a dime, I was in trouble. So we put dimes in a jug, and we had how many, Alex? $980 or something? $980 in dimes that we saved to help pay for this wedding dress. It should have been quarters, but Lori couldn't get me to barely do the dimes. So glad we did it, but that was another choice we made years ago, and how fitting it is today to be actually seeing and witnessing this and enjoying this for you guys on your special day. It's pretty cool. Anything else, Ma? You got the easiest. I thought I had the easiest job last night in practice. I'm sitting down and watching all these guys get all excited about what are they going to do and this and that. I'm sitting there and I'm like, all I got to do is walk her down the aisle. It's pretty cool. And do this. Mom just had to cry. You did a little too. Okay, anything else? Thank you. Congratulations. Thanks everybody for coming. And remember, choices.
All right, I'll try to keep this short, and this will all come full circle. But when your parents, you take care of them, and all you do is worry about every day what they're doing, and you just want your kids happy. And even though the kids, they worry about what jobs they get and how making you proud, the only thing you care about is they're happy. So anyway, so the first time with Shannon, he told me right away and come to dating. I'm telling him, date as many women as you can. Date as many women as you can. Date as many women as you can. And bless you. And so he told me, no, I'm the right one. He's real picky on everything he did. And I'm thinking, oh boy, this kid's gonna be single for the rest of his life. And so soon enough, he brought Alex and sat there, and I can't remember I remember the Christmas was the first one. I thought, that poor girl, she's got to come to Christmas here. And sweet as can be, and they just seem to have the same mindset, the same goal-driven. And I was like, uh-oh, how long before she figures this out? But anyway, so she ended up that two of them together just kind of match. And he was right. He found the right one and he waited. And I'm proud of him for that. And come full circle of it, all I ever care about is all my kids being happy. And you make my son happy. So I just want to welcome him to the family. And be a lot better calling you my daughter-in-law now instead of my son's girlfriend or my son's fiance. So welcome to the family.
All right. Can you hear me okay? Do I need to talk louder? Hold it. Good? Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Kelly Shevland, and I am Alex's matron of honor. I first met Alex, I don't know if you remember this, but I remember it, on the first day of 7th grade. I was the new kid who was standing awkwardly outside of RMS. And you were one of the first people to come up to me and introduce yourself. And I am very thankful you did, because you made Ripon feel like home, even though it was a strange place. From the first day of 7th grade, our friendship grew. Countless summer nights and summer days at County Park, helping each other get through our snowmobile license test, and you forcing me to finally get my ears pierced at age 15. The list goes on. Really, though, reflecting through our friendship, what has made it last these 14 years is your strong characteristics that I admire. You are adventurous, even willing to go parasailing in a thunderstorm with lightning. I don't think you told your mom and dad about that one. You are confident. You are not afraid to express your feelings and are very honest with everything. Sometimes too honest, but that's okay. And I think we can all agree here that you are very passionate. Whatever you put your mind to, you make it great. I'm shaking. From selling your 31 bags to now LuLaRoe, you really bring your ideas come to life, and you are quite the entrepreneur. For such a special person, I knew you were going to need a special man by your side. And as one of your best friends, I have to admit, I held a pretty high standard for you. So Alex, I noticed your board back at the gift table with the key dates that you had. I actually, before seeing that board in my speech, had written down that you messaged me on October 14th, 2018. And these were Alex's quotes to me. Kelly, your girl found a winner. Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. Now this is how she described Shannon. Very old school. No, very old soul, period. Old school, period. 23, period. Oshkosh, period. Works on airplanes at Gulfstream. I think all of those are still true, except your age. I don't think you're 23 anymore, Shannon. So I thought to myself when I read these messages, okay, seems pretty promising, but I need to meet the guy first. So as I remember when I first met Alex, I do remember the day when I first met Shannon. I met Shannon at Town Square Bingo, and okay, if someone comes to bingo for a woman, I thought to myself, they must be really into each other. So Shannon, you passed that test. And then I found out he drove a VW CC. I drive a VW. Passed that test. So I knew, yes, Alex, you did have a winner. Alex and Shannon, you two really are perfect for one another, and it has been so fun seeing your love grow over these past 3 years. So let's all raise our glasses and toast. Alex and Shannon, may your love grow and be full of adventures, confidence, and passion. Cheers.
All right, well, I don't know how I'm gonna follow Kelly up on that. But I'm Jordan. I am Alex's maid of honor. I've known Alex for pretty much our entire lives. And part of my speech, Shannon actually stolen his vows, so maybe I'm the one who's actually marrying Alex today, who knows. So since we were 8 years old, Alex and I have grown up alongside one of another. Our friendship started by sitting by each other on the bus that Gary drove and progressed into spending many, many weekends together. We've played Monopoly and laughed so hard that lemonade was coming out of Alex's nose onto the board. And then that progressed into spending nights at concerts and singing along to Cole Swindell, scoping out the boys, of course, too. And we've spent plenty of time at China One and Mugs to fuel our mutual love of coffee and food addictions. I think we could basically support them places ourselves. Alex's support has never wavered throughout our 18 years of friendship, whether we talked every day or once a month, or we were 2 miles apart in Ripon, or thousands when I lived in Montana for a couple summers. I knew I could always count on her. Here's where Shannon stole part of my speech. Her heart is always in the right place, and anybody that is lucky enough to be in Alex's life knows how strongly her heart is and how strongly she loves. Shannon, you are the lucky man who she chose to give her heart to. Alex has many amazing qualities, and your traits complement hers perfectly. I could not have picked a better man to marry my best friend. I'm delighted that my once-in-a-lifetime best friend found her once-in-a-lifetime love. Cheers to the berries.
All right, well, I don't know how I'm going to follow up either of those, so I'm just going to start talking. Unlike those two fine ladies, I met Shannon a couple years ago on third shift, and as him and I both know, there's some weird people on third shift. So you kind of make friends with the people that you make friends with, and the other ones just go their own separate ways. So I found out that Shannon was into cars, so I was like, okay, there's this car meet down in Wisconsin Dells. And he was like, dude, that's an hour away. I'm like, yeah, it's an hour and a half from me. We're going. So we ended up driving down there in his CC and in my Honda. And we got down there, and there's just a bunch of, I won't call them rednecks, but there's a bunch of people with whatever cars they had and just showed up and hung out. And me and Shannon pulled up, and we're like, well, I don't think we're going to stay here that long. So I kind of felt bad that he drove an hour down to this car meet. So I'm like, okay, well, I owe Shannon one on this. So when him and Alex moved into their house, they had this nice, pristine boat that they got with the house. And Shannon needed to fix it up so we could actually use it. So I was like, all right, well, I guess I'll help you do that. But the conversation sort of went like this. Hey, you're coming to help me this weekend. I'm like, okay, what are we doing? We're fixing this boat. I'm like, okay. And that's how most of our conversations go when we fix things and don't want to do things necessarily, but we have to get them done anyways. So when I got there and I started working on the boat, I saw Alex, and she walked by, and I wasn't really 100% sure if she wanted me to fix the boat with Shannon or if she just wanted me to let it die, but we fixed it anyways, and then they used it for maybe a couple months and then got rid of it. So, but moral of the story is they put up with a lot of my stuff, and as much of an idiot as I am, catching your grass on fire and whatnot, they put up with me. So when my girlfriend is actually, well, she was sitting over there. When I introduced them to Darby, Darby thought Shannon was a girl and Alex was a guy, so she was a little bit caught off guard with that. But now that Darby has a couple of good friends here in Wisconsin, she doesn't like it too bad, besides all the cold weather and whatnot. She's not a fan of the cold, but I wish you guys the best of luck in the rest of your years of marriage, and you guys found the perfect one for each other. So.